Just answering questions with WAPTech. Someone said, can you trace this data from a YouTube channel called Blame It on Jorg or George, the lost media of creepypastas, and the subsection about camera heads, a creepypasta that was lost? The reason he's bringing this up is the internet is old enough and rickety enough that you can lose data. Cutting to the chase, camera heads is not a story put up on the internet that had a large following or people who felt a need to make backup copies of it, but it was added to, probably right after it was erased or not able to be found anymore, to wikis about stories on the internet. You know, like Candlejack and that sort of thing. Now, this is going to be me reading from an archive of HTML source code that was grabbed by archive.org that I converted back into an HTML file and then put it up on screen and then just simply cut and paste the information from it, trying not to lose anything. And it's a differential file from a wiki page of people editing and adding in information about the original story. Now, it's old enough, like 2010, that it's within the time range of 2009 that this happened to be, I guess, our oldest and best copy. But then again, it was subject to people just randomly editing it, as evidenced by the first line in it. The archive, by the way, will be named WYY3KV because that's the random ID code for it. The original post claimed it was August 8th, 2008, Saturday, by Anonymous. But that time and date stamp is a Friday, and if you say it's 2009, which is the actual year, it then becomes a Saturday. So then immediately we know that this archive is of something that was messed with. And this is 2010, so it's a year later. But it matches up with what most people said it was, or most people had copies of it if they grabbed it and saved it to their hard drive, or reposted it as a meme or something like that. So I'm going to read it as it was written. And this is a person coming to the paranormal board on presumably 4chan or something like that, called X. What is Camerahead, X? I was walking home through a nearby gully, came across a weird stack of rocks, a torn envelope with some writing on it. It appeared to have been written in charcoal or ash. And I'm just going to read what it said. It's 3 lines. I killed a camerahead. It took Trevor. Get help if I don't come back. Then the person in this story saying, I found a MiniDV nearby. This was all that was on it besides static. I had to watch it a few times before I found this clip. Who took this video? A camerahead sounds really silly if it's a monster with a camera for a head. Now this is implying that a person found a video recording and had a bunch of snow or static on it, and one clip, not all of them, one clip on the video recording was significant, and maybe they posted it as an animated GIF or a video that was dumped to 4chan or whatever website it was, or maybe it posted to a completely unrelated link. Now, literally the same day, August 8th, 2009, again, this one just has the wrong year on it, there's a video from that time that's literally named Camerahead. Then we have a description for the video. Again, this is on a wiki page a year after the upload and a year after the posting of the story that we just read. A few hours after the initial post, the original poster, presumably, managed to deliver the following video uploaded to YouTube, claiming a few minutes of static had to be cut due to YouTube's length restriction. Now, I'm going to cut into here, even though the rest of the wiki page is describing something here. I'm going to cut into it. Claiming it's a MiniDV file. Interlaced at 720 by 576 if it was phase alternation line, like in Britain, PAL, or if it's NTSC in the United States at 720 by 480 is the standard for MiniDV. There's also high definition that's 1080p. This is 1/4 inch wide tape in a small size case called small size or S size, or DVC for DV compact, or MiniDV. If you claim it's a MiniDV, it's going to be in a resolution that's 720p or 480p or something like that. All right? Now we continue. And the cassette is a small cassette that would easily be lost. It's a couple inches across. August 8th, 2009, the video called Camerahead was uploaded in 240p. YouTube had increased their max video length from 10 minutes to 15 minutes in 2010. So it had a 10-minute limit at the time. And it allowed 720p and 360p. So someone chose to upload as 240p, or at the time, their channel was restricted to low resolution and not high res like 360 or 720. Okay, now the next thing is the video itself is a little under 9 minutes long, which means there was clearly one more minute that could have been uploaded. So the statement, a few minutes of static had to be cut due to the length restriction. But they could have cut it to just under 10 minutes. They cut it under 10. No, they cut it under 9. Now, again, we don't have another thing here. That channel and that video were not archived at the time it was uploaded. Archive.org existed. It worked. And at the time this happened, this is something I'm able to check pretty easily, you could make archives of YouTube. YouTube and many other websites are very unfriendly to archiving. But it would have been able to archive it if someone was persistent. Also, the channel at the time had a discussion page you could go to where people could have posted comments on this, because this is the only video on the channel. Now, unless the person was monitoring it and erasing comments, or just said you have to approve comments before you're able to post them, and no one is able to, no one bothered archiving anything about the channel except the main page and the video itself. And all this was done only in the year 2020. No one archived it before 2020, and no one archived the discussion page, which would have had a discussion about the only thing the channel is worth, the video. That was not done. If you're claiming you're researching something, or it's something that was popular and worthy of reference, because this is literally a creepypasta or maybe an ARG, someone would have archived it, because they would wait for changes to happen, because many many ARGs, games on the internet, or creepy stories are uploaded on a channel, and then later on they alter the title or the description, like anybody can, so you can get more data. None of this was done. Nobody archived anything. This does not appear to have been an important thing, because no one gave a shit until 2020, it seems. And again, pretty soon after the story came up, someone claimed the video was uploaded, and it was uploaded the same day. So someone found it almost immediately, or it was linked. Maybe it is the one that was mentioned. I don't know. That's the claim. Again, this is on an archived copy of a wiki page where someone got the year wrong. I also want to point out that the website is incredibly unfriendly to archiving, because if you click a link that would easily bring you to a more updated page, or maybe the actual page, it doesn't contain any direct links. It runs a query to request a file to put it up in the dynamic HTML wiki page format that was so popular back then, and is still, in my opinion, crap. It should have never been done, because it meant archiving or making sure your web browser wouldn't crash was kind of tenuous. So because the website, which again, it's just a wiki page, is the only source for this data, it was almost born to make checking on this impossible. The only reason this is a lost media thing that people care about is it's so dastardly hard to look it up. Anyway, the 240p resolution was YouTube's only playback resolution in 2005 forward that was offered. Then 360 was offered in 2008. The 10-minute limit was introduced in 2006, by the way. It used to be a lot longer. And then by 2008, you could do 720p, and on 2009, you could do 1080. The 10-minute limit was increased to 15 minutes July of 2010, so they were still under a 10-minute limit. And you can now put up gigs and gigs of data. So, next. The video depicts at the 1 minute and 17 second mark 2 kids on a swing set. At 2:30 or so, zoom in on a TV set. People are not able to understand it's a TV set being zoomed in on. That's a trope in camera work and doing movies and videos, so that seems likely. You can see a camera chasing the 2 people in sepia tone, very much different than the rest of the video. Maybe that's why it's referred to as the clip. At 3 minutes and 47 seconds, someone approaches the camera at 4:50 or so, and then you see at 4 almost 60 an alien head, or maybe it's the same picture or face. Then at 7:33 or so, you see someone else's face. Then you see a Japanese ghost at 8:30 or so. And then the video ends. Some of the above, or some content at individual frames, are supposed to have been from screen grabs or pieces of data from a TV show in the United Kingdom called You've Been Framed, which means it was submitted content from other people. Could have been from anywhere. Now, there's a possibility here that the original story was referring to just that clip in sepia tone, because that's the most likely thing. It's dead clear. The rest of the noise in the beginning and the ending might have just been thrown together to add it in as an editing activity. And again, discrepancies. This is supposed to be MiniDV, but the resolution is bombastically low on a platform that let you upload in higher res. At the time, the channel that did this may have been limited in resolution or not. I don't remember what the limits were at that time, and looking it up right now was so much difficult, I just gave up. But at the time, they could have uploaded at some other resolution or a much higher resolution, depending on the status of the channel. Next, the channel had a discussion page where people should, could have, would have been talking about it. Maybe no one was able to post anything. Maybe it was set to approve only. I don't know, but they didn't do that with a video, so I'm assuming it was an open discussion forum. Nobody bothered archiving any of this until 2020, long after the discussion page had been retired, and more importantly, no one archived the original 4chan file. Can you trace this data? If someone can find the original 4chan post from 2009 and find an archive of it, maybe. I have seen some archives that were just incidentally captured by, a wiki way back for the thing, that are fairly old. I don't know if they go back that far. And 4chan, if you're not aware of it, has had 4chan.org or 4chan.net or whatever, has been excluded from archiving many, many times over. And sometimes archive.org or other websites will just go back and redact everything, delete fucking everything, blanking in progress. So anyway, to review, what little can be grabbed of this is indirect, may not have anything to do with the original poster because we don't have the original link. Next, everybody who cared about it could have just said where it was. Now, the comment section under the video could have a bunch of clues that are there that I can't find for some reason. Maybe they are archived. Well, I couldn't find them either. I made some of the archives you'll find when you look them up today. This is not something that people really cared about. Next, this is one of those stories that is not a creepypasta or copypasta. Yes, I'm getting to the point. What someone did is they posted what I call a stub story. The idea is you posted a story and then let people add to it. That's what this person very much appears to have been doing. They gave the starter of a story a premise so that someone would either grab it and make a new version of it or add to it and cause a fun discussion. That was done a lot on the paranormal board X back then. I think people are missing that reasoning. A lot of that kind of stuff ended up causing what we now call the SCP archives, Secure Containment Procedures, which is the original name, not something else. The SCP Foundation files are based on people creating stories and then editing and wikiing them together. And on 4chan, funny thing, because you could get the 4chan posting with its posting ID code, which is not in here, which should be, you could look up this stuff and find the original sources and look up people duplicating the work and collectively create a cool story. Because you posted it as an anonymous person, and especially if you didn't use trip codes, anybody could do what they wanted to with it. It was implied you were giving it away for free. This is how SCP started. Maybe somebody was trying to start their own cool story. Eventually it would turn into something that might be part of popular culture, like the back rooms are right now. In fact, that's the same kind of origin. But because we don't have any of the code that would have been from 4chan that would have helped immensely here, we are at a dead end. So, can I trace this data? This is no different than everybody else has done. I've contributed nothing to the video except a synopsis you'll read below. And the links will be obfuscated onto Imager and archived from there. Because I don't want to be flagged, because they'll claim something nasty about what I just typed up. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that.